Okay, hello, welcome. My name's Emily, as you all know, and I just wanted to share 2 minutes of my story. I was incredibly skeptical about Plexus or anything network marketing. I had a lot of friends that were doing Plexus, a lot of friends doing Rodan and Fields, people sending me samples. I was throwing them in the trash of both Rodan and Fields and Plexus. I just didn't understand, and I assumed people were just trying to make money off of me. I would go to Walmart and buy a women's vitamin and I would take it for a day or two and then it would just sit on my counter or sit in my pantry unused. I would waste that money. And so I didn't think that even if I was interested in Plexus, that I would be consistent. And so when my friend sent me some samples, I threw them in the trash. I was breastfeeding my youngest child at the time. I was afraid of what was in the products just because I didn't know. And I saw people losing weight. I saw people have relief with their migraines. I saw people with their sciatica issues having a lot more relief with that. I saw relief in their sleep issues. I saw all this stuff and I was like, okay, this is probably weird. And so I didn't have any interest. But then 4 years later, I continued to see friends sharing and they were not sick. They were not gaining weight back. They were like still sharing about these products. And so I got to the point where I was embarrassed in the way that I looked. I didn't feel confident in my body. I remember crying every Sunday when I would stand in my closet trying to find something to wear. I remember just feeling ashamed. I felt very insecure, and not just my body, but I think that I wasn't taking care of myself maybe the way that I thought I would. I thought I would be a much more engaging mom with energy. I thought that I would want to be on the floor playing with my kids, but instead I was so tired and I was only fueling myself with little chicken nuggets and goldfish and lots of caffeine. It was like just trying to make it through the day. And I knew part of that was just raising toddlers, but also I felt like that wasn't normal. And so I finally decided I wanted to try the products. I wanted to do something to help me with my sugar, with my weight that I couldn't drop. I didn't realize that my digestion was an issue until I realized, oh, my digestion was an issue. Like it's not normal to be bloated all the time and to have lots of gas. And so I started on the products. I started on Triplex. And within the first couple of weeks, I woke up feeling leaner. I wasn't craving sugar. It was awesome. Like I could walk by the donuts in our break room and I was not interested in having those donuts. I was starting to have more energy to play with my children. I was starting to lose that bloat and inflammation around my belly. And so my clothes were starting to fit looser. And all of that was really exciting of like, okay, if this is what happens in the first month or 2 months, what's going to happen in 6 months, 12 months. And so I continued on the products, but I had to get my products paid for because we could not afford them on their own and where we were with our jobs. And so I started sharing and started helping other people. So I was earning money as I was also getting healthy, getting my products paid for, which eventually morphed into getting my income doubled and then quadrupled and then 10 times. And I was able to stay home with my daughters and just change everything for our family financially, as well as all of our health things that we dealt with were addressed in a really beautiful way. So I highly recommend the triplex to start off with. That is what changed so much for me, so much for my husband, so much for my mom, my dad, my sister. So I recommend it to everybody and their brothers. So that is a little bit of my story. And how do I stop this thing? Hold, please.